Otherwise, how is it possible? So especially, I'm seeing that Prabhupada, by sending devotees to work with me and devotees to help me and devotees who have accepted me as their shelter or their spiritual master, that it's actually Prabhupada who's coming in these different forms to help me to carry out the unlimited instructions that he has given me. I feel it's very important also that I have to be a better disciple of His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I have to read his books more diligently and become more expert in preaching the way that he preached, to become heavier by his mercy. And similarly, I need that the disciples who are helping me, they have to also become heavier in Krishna consciousness. They have to increase their spiritual weight, their spiritual strength. Actually, we saw a very unhappy thing in ISKCON since we've lost our first spiritual master after Srila Prabhupada, when last year in February, on the disappearance or the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, we lost a great devotee, Srila Gaura Govinda Goswami Maharaj. And this has been a big vacuum, big loss for ISKCON. All of a sudden he left. And later his disciples told me that he had called them and said that most of you, my disciples, will leave me when I leave. And I'm very frustrated that you are fighting amongst each other. And therefore I have prayed to the Gopal deity that I take me back. I don't want to stay here any longer. When I heard that from one of his very intimate disciples, I was quite shocked because we never knew all these things. You see. And that, of course, also makes me worried, because with so many services that Prabhupada has given, when I leave, I don't want any of my disciples to leave. I want them rather to continue to carry on and expand whatever I could do. While we're together to work very cooperatively together. When we were in Kanaya Natshala with Jananivas Prabhu, doing the deity installation of Radha Kanayalal Gauranga Mahaprabhu, which if you ever have an opportunity you should go and see. These are very beautiful deities, and this is a very special place, a Gupta Vrindavan, and a place of Lord Chaitanya's liquefied and solid mercy. And all the devotees are working cooperatively day and night without considering anything, personal considerations. And this is, and everyone commented after they felt so blissful. This is the secret for our success in Krishna consciousness. To simply serve Guru and Gauranga enthusiastically without any kind of conditions or self-considerations. So I'm worried rather, although Prayas Prabhupada should be desired to live a long time, and Prabhupada looked at me and said, old age is a very unpleasant situation. So it's not so good to live a long time. But then I was worried that I really like to see all the disciples get more and fixed up. Maybe I can contribute something, giving them some association. I like to see ISKCON get more strong, so we can continue carrying on Prabhupada's mission for the next 10,000 years, as was predicted by the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Really want to see the hundreds of thousands and millions of devotees all over the world very, very blissfully serving Krishna. So for that, I really am totally incapable to do anything, and very much need the help of all the devotees to make any contribution. And I'm very, very grateful to all the devotees who are helping me in trying to please the order of Srila Prabhupada. As I mentioned, you know that Srila Prabhupada, he wanted that all people would become Krishna conscious. He wanted to see that the whole world would be given shelter under his lotus feet. We know that even one drop, one speck of the dust of his divine grace, Srila Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada can deliver the entire universe, all the Anantakoti universes. But there are so many people that are not getting that dust from the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. And somehow we need to see that everyone gets the dust and gets the full mercy that Prabhupada desires for them. As I mentioned, I had no good qualities before I met Srila Prabhupada that I could see, especially no spiritual qualities. Had an opportunity to manifest before I met Srila Prabhupada. I became an assistant priest, acolyte, but my priest was always drunk, and I really didn't have much opportunity to know anything about spiritual life. In many ways, I was getting no opportunity, but Prabhupada was so merciful to bring Krishna consciousness to the West and to give this highest mercy of Nitai and Gauranga. So when he especially asked me to preach in India, become an Indian citizen, he asked me, "Do you like India?" I said, "Very much." He said, "So you become an Indian citizen." Even then, I could not become an Indian citizen on my own. I applied, but I was rejected. Then Prabhupada in Bombay, he had to preach to Nathji and his father, and explain to them why I had to become an Indian citizen, which you can hear from Radhanath Swami, he knows, or Nathji. And in this way, by Prabhupada's preaching and blessing, I could become an Indian citizen, be allowed to stay here so many years. Now I've been in India for 27 years. I was only in ISKCON in the West for 2 years. So that's why I was saying that before coming to ISKCON, I was just bhakti hinam, kriya hinam, mantra hinam, all hinam. Anything good was hinam. Hinam means absent. No mantra, no bhakti, everything was hinam. But by Prabhupada's mercy, then I could get the opportunity to serve. So Prabhupada said that this Krishna consciousness movement is simply a movement of becoming debtors. We simply become more and more in debt. To the spiritual master, to Krishna, to the Vaishnavas. But Prabhupada, he also said, I am a miser. So I can see that although Prabhupada has given me so much mercy, I am such a miser that somehow I wasn't giving it out enough. And I'm not reciprocating adequately. So somehow, to avoid this label of being a miser, getting so much spiritual wealth and not giving it out, they had to even try harder to give out more and more mercy and see Prabhupada's desire for the whole world to be flooded with Krishna consciousness, inundated, the desire of Lord Chaitanya, very quickly fulfilled. Although I don't consider myself a devotee, I'm just trying to be a devotee. But in case Krishna might consider that I'm a devotee, then since someone had asked that they had committed some offense, I would pray to Krishna that if anybody here has committed any offense knowingly or unknowingly, that he may forgive them so they can advance quickly. Similarly, I hope that all of you, in case I have committed any offense, sometimes I yell at disciples, or I might accidentally kick a devotee when walking through the crowd, or step on somebody's foot in kirtan, or who knows, somehow I may not have appreciated a devotee that should really have been appreciated. So you may also pray to Krishna that he may forgive me in case knowingly or unknowingly I have made any offense to any of you. If nothing else, I'm hoping that since there are so many nice devotees Krishna has sent, I'm so much inspired to see the nice devotees here and all over the world that I've been sent to help me and work with me. That just as Dhruva Maharaj's mother gave very little instruction to Dhruva Maharaj, just look for God, but somehow that was enough to get her a free ticket back to Godhead. That if nothing else, maybe what little help I could be to the devotees, so when by their qualifying and going back to Godhead, then I'll also get a ticket. So this way even a fallen or less qualified spiritual master can also get back. Having said that, I must say that for all of whatever disqualification I may have, I am sincerely trying to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, to chant my 16 rounds every day, to follow all of the, avoid breaking any of the 4 regulative principles, and to do the other services that Prabhupada has prescribed. If there's any credit at all due, it's simply Prabhupada's caused this mercy on me, and somehow I'm trying to follow his instruction, even if I'm not able to perfectly do it up to the highest quality, but I'm trying to do so. So somehow Prabhupada is still giving me his shelter. All devotees should very carefully try to carry out instructions of Guru and Krishna, Guru and Gauranga. That is the only hope that anyone has for protection against this very, very treacherous age of Kali. If we have the choice of doing service or being lazy, we should do the service. If we have an opportunity to ask for more service and our health permits, we should do it. We should take every opportunity that comes up. If there's no opportunities, we should try to make opportunities to serve Guru and Krishna and Vaishnava, and in this way develop more and more our service attitude and get the blessings of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because he's very pleased when we serve Guru and Vaishnavas, so that we can get a real taste for chanting and a real deep appreciation of Krishna consciousness, and very quickly develop Krishna prema by the causeless mercy of our previous acharyas. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So on behalf of the devotees, may I sincerely thank His Divine Grace Srila Jayapataka. One other thing that we have to take note at this point of time, Srila Jayapataka is always looking at the good qualities of his God brothers and God sisters, as well as his disciples and the disciples of the other spiritual masters. It is our humble request that all of us actually check our hearts and see on this Vyasa Puja how much we can actually help our Guru Maharaj Srila Jayapataka in further pushing Lord Chaitanya's Mahaprabhu's movement through the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. That is this afternoon, check our hearts to see, as Guru Maharaj says, follow the four regulative principles, look at the good qualities in each other, help each other in the services, so that we can actually push the movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jayapataka ki!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Sachiram, Jaya Sachiram, Jaya